What's up, everybody? Just earlier this week, we got Season 2 of Black Ops 6 and Warzone, and some changes didn't go through with that update. We didn't get a change in the meta, but this update that we just got today should hopefully fix some of that, as well as fixing some bugs. So, general buy stations did not change with the update like they were supposed to. That's something that's been happening since the Al Mazrah days. But this update today did actually change the buy station location, so those are different now. The tracker is now properly unrestricted in ranked play, the perk, and the LTV vehicle has been disabled while we investigate an issue. I don't actually really know what that issue is. I've played Warzone Tuesday and Wednesday this week, and I've just been ignoring it since. I haven't watched any Twitch or anything, so I don't know what that LTV is. Some ranked stuff, which you can pause to read that right here if you want. I'm not going to talk about it, really. So the big stuff here is the weapons. We have the XM4, where its maximum damage range is your up close range. That damage got nerfed. And the medium damage range, so your mid range, that damage also got nerfed as well. If you remember earlier this week, the minimum range or your long range damage was nerfed. I don't think these damage nerfs, although this is a significant difference in damage, I don't think this is what's going to take it out of the meta, because that's what I thought with the minimum damage range. But here I was, because of the lack of a proper nerf to the recoil and the handling, I was beaming guys still that were over 100 meters away, and you can see the minimum damage range is at 48.2. So that didn't really make the gun feel not meta. So I don't know if these damage changes will. But down here we have the 100 round mag, where the sprint to fire penalty was increased from 16 to 26%. So, I mean, not very often are you using this from a sprint to fire standpoint, because this would only be if you're rotating with this or pushing with this because you think they're farther away and they pushed up and now you got to shoot. Typically, you're going to be using sprint to fire more with your SMGs, where you're pushing somebody and pulling it out. And if you are worried about sprint to fire medium and long range, then you don't rotate well because you don't have cover. I mean, there are spots where you get caught without cover, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. So that's not what I really think takes it out of the meta either. What does is the buffer stock has another nerf. They tried to nerf the recoil and the gun kit control, and it wasn't quite enough. And so that's why, despite the damage nerf, at long range, it still felt like you were beaming people because the recoil was just so low. So now there is a sprint to fire penalty of 15%. There was no sprint to fire penalty with the buffer stock before. The XMG is not in this. I don't know if it affects the XMG or not. Then you have aim down sight penalty was increased from 23% to 31% with the buffer weight stock. The horizontal recoil control bonus was decreased from 45% to 30%. The vertical recoil control bonus decreased from 18% to 12%, and the gun kit control bonus was decreased from 20% to 15%. So now the gun will be harder to control. So, hey, maybe it'd be more just a medium range thing. Well, they nerfed the medium range damage. The maximum range damage I really don't think matters. So I don't even know if this will be in the Rebirth meta. It still might, because it still should be fairly easy to shoot in the mid range. Have to play some Warzone, try out the XM4, see how it feels, try out some other ARs. And then sometime next week, I will have a long range and short range meta videos coming, and probably a perk video as well. And we'll see if the XM4 makes that video or not. But if you want to see that, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell if you want to see it first. So then we have SMG adjustments. All SMGs across all of Black Ops 6, so not for the MW2 and MW3 SMGs, but the Black Ops 6 ones, got a muzzle flash visibility improvement when ADS'd. It's really noticeable in the PPSH, where the muzzle flash literally blinds you. You can't see anything. But this is a sweeping change across all Black Ops 6 SMGs, which is definitely a welcome change. Then we have the Jackal. The ADS speed was slowed from 195 to 210. The sprint to fire time slowed from 110 to 120. And so this, damage-wise, was kind of taken out of the meta. I personally think it's the C9 right now, among some other potential options. But the Jackal was still handling well, so people were still sticking with the Jackal. And we had the XM4 and the Jackal like pretty much all of Season 1, so it's good that they're nerfing this again. It's still going to be viable, it's just not going to be near as good. And then we had the PPSH that had its range buffed from max damage range, medium damage range 1, and medium damage range 2. And it also had its overall damage buffed within that medium damage range 2. I don't know if the PPSH will be the meta. I think it's going to be the C9, but just like with the XM4, we'll play with the Jackal some. Maybe we'll try some PPSH, and we'll see what feels good close range, although I do think the C9 is going to be where it's at. Plus, along with the damage range and damage buffs, we have additional adjustments. Leg multipliers increased from 0.95 to 1. Vertical foregrip, the horizontal recoil control bonus is increased from 35 to 45%. Precision foregrip, horizontal recoil control bonus was increased from 15 to 20%. And Ranger foregrip, that's the foregrip that I use because it also gives you the movement speed. Horizontal recoil control bonus increased from 15% to 20%. Then bug fixes. I'm not going to read all of them. If you want to read all of them, you can go and pause and read right here really quick. But they fixed an issue preventing you from joining players' parties with the error saying they were on different versions. Fixed an issue where we could not hear enemies self-revive, and fixed an issue causing players to move at slower than intended speeds on ascenders. Those are the only ones that are relevant to either, well, partying up's not gameplay, but those are the ones that are only relevant to gameplay. Everything else is UI stuff, challenges stuff, XP stuff. So not a super big deal. And fixed an issue that caused matches on Rebirth Island sometimes different skybox lighting. Still, I don't really think a big issue. But that's the changes today. Hopefully we see the XM4 and the Jackal get kicked out of the meta. Maybe we get the aims, the GPR, maybe the new LMG, maybe the XMG. Who knows? Hopefully this is a new meta. Maybe the Cypher. But I think the XM4 might actually be done. If not, it might just not be the meta, but like pretty like tied with something. And I think the Jack was pretty much done, and people will be moving on to the C9. And I super like the change in the muzzle flash. But let me know in the comments down below what you think of this update. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you like this type of content and want to see it first. Like I said, we'll have a long range and short range meta video. Those videos will come out. We'll also have probably a perk video because they changed some perks and they got rid of dexterity. They added Mountaineer, blah, blah, blah. So if you want to see that first, make sure that notification bell is hit. And I'll link the patch notes down below. I'll also have my Twitch and all my social medias linked down below, including my single player channel. So if you want to check any of those out, please feel free to do so. But I will see you on Area 99, Rebirth Island, and Urzikstan. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.